How do you become spiritually mature? How do you become more Christ-like? Well, if you are like some of the women that I work with in my private online community, you may find that, you wake up in the morning, you're feeling good, you're feeling close to the Lord, you feel His presence and you're feeling His love. And then you walk out of your bedroom and you are met with some forces coming against you. Could be that you receive some bad news, that things aren't going to go the way that you anticipated for the day. Your babysitter isn't going to be able to follow through, or perhaps your husband is in a cranky mood and he is ignoring you, or maybe one of your kids is, says something nasty to you. And then all of a sudden, all this feeling that you had of being at peace with the world and loving God, loving people, feeling good about yourself, all that's just out the window, right? And what happened? So, what needs to be done? If you're going to get to the place where you are spiritually mature and where you are being Christ-like, what has to happen within you? Well, today we are going to look at the essentials to spiritual maturity. Well, let me welcome you. My name is Tawnya Kordenbrock. I'm a licensed professional clinical counselor. And if you are new here, please let me know that you stop by and tell me a little bit about yourself. If you're returning, I'm glad to see you again. Be sure to say hi. Now, what I do is I work with women who have had significant hurts in their past, who are struggling to manage their emotions in their life and to feel like they can love themselves, or they can feel close to people the way they want to, and to be able to keep that connection with God that they are desiring. I help them to be able to manage those emotions, to decrease their intensity so that they can get those emotional needs met in their relationships. Now, I hope you will stay tuned till the end, because I do have a free resource for you that's going to help you to grow spiritually. And also be sure to subscribe so that you can get my next teaching, because I am doing a series on this. Now, if you have had some significant hurts in your past, or if you did not receive the emotional support that you needed growing up, then you will discover that your emotions are going to be a big hindrance to you feeling like that you can be spiritually mature. You're going to find that your emotions hold you back from being that loving, patient, and kind person that Jesus wants you to be, and that you want to become as you walk in the kingdom of God and what He is doing in the world right now. So why is this? What's going on with your emotions? How do your emotions play into becoming spiritually mature? When you have had these significant hurts in your past, or the loss of this nurturing that should have been there, then what happens within you are certain patterns are formed, response patterns, and their actual neurological networks formed within your brain that come down into your body. And they are ways in which you respond to emotional upsets right now. And in order to grow spiritually, you also have to first look at these emotional patterns, these response patterns, Learn how to uh, become aware of them and get them under control. Now, if you'll look back, I did some teachings on emotional maturity, and you will find those helpful here also. Within your response pattern, there are three parts to it. There are your emotions that you feel, but then there are also your thoughts and your beliefs. And all of these two are also connected to your body, how it feels within your body when you are upset, and then how you respond out of that. So first, we are going to take a look then at your emotions within your response pattern. Now, there are some very core emotions that we experience. There's going to be fear, anger, shame, sadness. Those are very, very strong emotions that are almost behind almost all of our other emotions that we feel. And these are the more negative, what we might call negative emotions. But they're not bad emotions. It's just how they impact us that can turn out badly. And two of them mainly that we're going to discuss are fear and anger. And those are oftentimes underneath all of the emotions, the other emotions that we are feeling. And Jesus addresses these, especially in the Sermon on the Mount, where he talks about fear and how we are to, instead of being fearful people, we are to be trusting in him and trusting in the Father and his goodness and his power and his love, that he will provide for us just as he even provides for the birds and for the flowers of the field. Now, also, he talks about in the Sermon on the Mount anger and how destructive anger is. Anger, when left unchecked, will lead even deeper into contempt for others. And contempt is where we either, to a degree, we are considering the other person just to be a nothing, that they are disgusting, that they may as well be on the garbage heap because they are just, you've written them off as being insignificant anymore. And of course, we can also have bitterness that can lodge deep within us and even cause you to become ill. So when you are looking at your response patterns, again, those response patterns are how you typically will respond whenever you are hurt or whenever you're feeling fearful. You're fearful of rejection. You're fearful that someone's going to think you're stupid or that you're not good enough. You're feeling angry that someone is not giving you the attention that you would like to get from them, or they're not loving you back as much as you feel like you are loving them. Various reasons that, just injustice is another one of why we would feel anger. But there are tons of reasons why we would be feeling these emotions of anger and fear. And again, those emotions in themselves are not bad. They are indicators to us that something is not right in the situation or in our relationships. But how they impact us, now that is what is going to matter. And if you have had some significant hurts in your past, you've had some trauma or neglect, then anxiety, this fear and anger can really bring you down. And so you'll want to work on this response pattern to become aware of it and make some shifts with the different pieces of it to be able to handle, notice how you're responding when you're feeling angry, when you're feeling fearful, and to learn how to respond differently. Now, what will help you with that is to move into the second part of this, which is going to be your thoughts and your beliefs. Because these emotions, they are so strong and these patterns are so ingrained within you that as soon as you feel them, you are going to have some automatic thoughts and all of your beliefs about yourself, whether you are acceptable or not, whether you are lovable or not, whether you are good enough. That is going to come it automatically with those emotions, and also your beliefs about other people, whether other people can be trusted, whether other people are safe, whether they can meet your needs, whether they can care for you the way that you need to be cared for. And this also applies to God and your views of Him. That's going to come into play. And about the world itself, whether you can have any power, any authority within the world to be able to make things happen, to be able to get what it is that you need in the world. All of those are beliefs and thoughts that are going to automatically arise when you feel these emotions of fear and anger, and also shame and sadness. So you will also want to become aware of that and start making some changes with that. And then lastly, there's what goes on in your body. Now, as I said, this response pattern is also a neurological connection, a network that has been formed and reinforced over and over and over. And so that it's very strong, and it kicks in just almost instantaneously. So that when you feel those emotions, you're going to have those automatic thoughts, those beliefs that arise, and that is the nerve network goes down into your body, and you're going to have a bodily response. Part of that bodily response is going to be your actions that you would have of normally there are two types of actions. There are going to be the moving forward action of aggressiveness, where you become defensive or you attack the other person, or there's those response of withdrawing. And withdrawing can look like shutting down, or just turning away from someone and ignoring them, walking out on them, giving them the silent treatment. So if you are going to grow spiritually, become spiritually mature, especially if you want to become Christ-like, you want to be renewed in your mind, then you have to pay attention to all of this, to all of who you are, and to these different elements. Okay, let me know if you found this helpful. And as was there any part, also let me know, was it a part of this that maybe brought some more clarity for you, or do you have some more questions about any part of it? And as I mentioned before, I do have a free resource for you, and it is going to take some scriptures. I'll give you 15 scriptures that you can choose from, pick a few of those out to meditate on. And as you do that, I'm going to teach you how to apply this to those different aspects, to your emotions, to those beliefs and thoughts, and to what goes on in your body, and so that you can begin to change that response pattern, change those beliefs, change how you see yourself and how you see others and how you see God. Thank you for joining me today. Bye now.